All right, in my room. First Monday is over. First, I was on the clock for 9 hours and 53 minutes. So let's do the wage first. 9 hours, 53 minutes. The first 8 hours are not overtime pay. So 8 hours times the wage, which is $11.25 per hour, which is the minimum wage in Nevada. That's $90 for the first 8 hours. Then for the final 1 hour and 53 minutes, that's overtime pay. So it's the $11.25 wage multiplied by the time, as a decimal, it's 1.88 hours, multiplied by 1.5, an extra 50% for overtime pay. That came out to $31.78. I dealt cash first, so I lost track of how many downs. I think 8 downs, but I dealt cash tables for a while. And when you're dealing cash, in addition to your wage, you're just getting your tips. I got $127 in tips. Would have been real nice to know the exact number on the downs. I'm pretty sure it was 8, and then like a couple minutes into my 9th down, someone who had just showed up for the day took my spot, and then I went over to the tournament area and they could use me over there. So then I started dealing tournaments. I dealt 2 downs of Omaha 8, a $600 Omaha 8 tournament that got over 150 entries. Dealt that for 2 downs. So any tournament that is not Hold'em, Omaha 8 is not Hold'em, is $20 per down. So I dealt 2 downs multiplied by $20 per down. That's $40 for my hour of Omaha 8. So I started another table of the No Limit tournament and then went on break, kind of like half a break, and then came back and they had me dealing a different No Limit tournament where I couldn't even figure out what the exact structure was. Some unique kind of structure was going on in that tournament. I dealt 3 downs in that tournament. So the first No Limit down, the table that I opened, 3 more No Limit downs for a total of 4 No Limit downs. No Limit downs at Orleans, $15 per down. So 4 times 15 is 60. So with the wage, it was 90 plus 31.78. The tips, which I actually just got, you just bring them to the cage, the chips, cash them out, 127. The Omaha 8 tournament, $40, and the No Limit tournament downs, $60. So add all that up, $348.78 pre-tax. So yesterday was like a half day, and it was only Hold'em tournament downs. So it's really like about as small of a day as I can have in terms of money earned, but still like a pretty good number. So I wanted to show you. So I clocked in at 5:46, clocked out at 10:26. That's 4 hours 40 minutes. As a decimal, 4.67 hours. Multiply that by the wage, $11.25 an hour, the state minimum wage. So that's $52.50 in wages. And then I got 7 Hold'em tournament down. $15 per down for a Hold'em tournament down. 15 times the 7 that I dealt, 105. And I'm looking at my spreadsheet here, so I keep looking away. So total is $157.50. So that's like, I didn't even work 5 hours, and the stuff I did pays the least of all the things they've had me do, and still made over $150. So not bad. Wanted to show you that. Clocked in at 12:29, clocked out at 9:56. So that's 9 hours 27 minutes. So for the first 8 hours, I got my pay. 8 times 11.25, $11.25 per hour is the wage. That's $90. Then on the final 1 hour 27 minutes, that's overtime pay. So 1 hour 27 minutes as a decimal is 1.45 hours. So 1.45 multiplied by 11.25, the wage, multiplied by 1.5, 50% extra pay for overtime, $114.46. So that is what I made via the wage. Now let's move it over and talk about downs. Beginning and end, dealt a little Hold'em tournaments. So 5 downs, we get $15 per down. So that is $75 for dealing No Limit Hold'em tournament downs. There was not a tournament of another game going, so I got 0 downs of mixed game tournaments, okay? But I did deal cash. So I got 9 downs of cash, and I got $168 in tips in those 9 downs. So you add everything, the wage, the Hold'em tournament downs, and the tips, it all comes out to $357.46. Not bad for like 9.5 hours. I'll take it, especially on my day off. I was gonna go in anyway at 6 p.m. and expect, you know, maybe around like 4 hours. As it is, got over 9 and happy with that. And yeah, there is another Monday. The numbers on the screen are going to be exact. So first of all, I clocked in, pretty sure it was 1:59 p.m. and I clocked out, I think it was slightly over 8 hours. I clocked out at 10 something. It was like 8 hours and change on the clock. So the first 8 hours is $90 in wages, $11.25 multiplied by 8 hours. And the extra, I was in overtime pay for the day. So it's that portion of an hour multiplied by 11.25, the wage, multiplied by 1.5 overtime pay. Cash was easy. I didn't deal cash on Monday, so no cash downs. And then the tournament downs, I think it was 8, 17. I don't remember. It was mostly no limit. I remember that. It was a huge chunk, no limit. Whatever numbers on the screen is correct. That number of downs multiplied by $15, our guaranteed down rate for Hold'em tournament downs, is the pay I got for dealing the Hold'em tournament. And then I think it was like 2, but the number on the screen is exact. The number of non-Hold'em tournament downs I dealt, that number multiplied by 20, our non-Hold'em tournament down rate, is the money I got paid from non-Hold'em tournaments. So add up the wage, which had a tiny bit of overtime, add up the Hold'em down money, add up the non-Hold'em down money, and then add 0 to be official for not dealing cash, and you get the total. And I remember the total. I think it was 357 and change. So that's a solid 8-hour day. Wasn't on the schedule, went in. I think that was the day around 1 o'clock. I told them I would like come in for the 4 o'clock shift. That's when they needed people. So clocked in 3:40, let's make some room. Clocked in 3:45, clocked out at 11 o'clock exactly. 7 hours, 15 minutes. There was no overtime within the day, and I hadn't hit 40 hours for the week, so no overtime for the week either. So it was 7 hours, 15 minutes, so as a decimal, 7.25 hours. So just multiply that by 11.25, and I have $81.56 for the wage. Then I had 2 downs that were Hold'em tournaments. We get paid $50 per down. 15, did I say 50? $15 per down, so $30 for dealing 2 30-minute stretches of Hold'em tournament. Then there was no cash, very quickly, no cash, just zeros, very simple. No cash that day, but that day was a little heavy. Let's see, what was the tournament on the 24th? 24th, deuce to 7 single draw. Yeah, that was actually the day of the ladies event also, but the second tournament of the day was deuce to 7 single draw, which was interesting to deal. I dealt 9 downs of that, so 9 times 20, $20 per down for a tournament that is not Hold'em. 9 times 20 is 180. So add it all up, just go on the bottom line here, 81.56 plus 30 plus 0, no cash tables, plus 180 equals 291.56. Solid day, and not even a full 8 hours. That was the day I could have probably stayed maybe like 1 to 3 more hours, but that was the day my tooth was really hurting, and I came home and like instantly made an appointment for the first place I could find that had a very early opening and went to the dentist. So yeah, not even a full 8 hours. Made $291.56 pre-tax, solid. Was a PLO heavy day, which means every down I dealt $20. So this time I'm gonna mix it up. Let's start with the downs. 14 downs 14 multiplied by 20, $280 in downs. Then the wage, I actually don't have it memorized. I think I was on the clock for very close to 9.5 hours. So whatever's on the screen is correct as I make room on that side of the screen. That multiplied, and it was July now, so the pay raise came in. We make 12 an hour now and 18 per hour overtime. So towards the end of the night, I actually got to 40 hours for the week. So even though both happened kind of at the same time, more than 8 on the day, more than 40 on the week, I crossed the threshold of more than 40 on the week slightly earlier. So it was like, I think like an hour 50 minutes or something like that was overtime pay. The numbers on the screen are exact. And so that multiplied by 18 and the rest of my time multiplied by 12, that was my wage. And there you go with the wage. And it must be around like $120 or something, because I know the total. And right over here, real quick, cash game, nothing. No limit tournaments, nothing. It was just the PLO and the wage. So add everything up at the bottom here, and it was the 280 from the wage, the 280 from the down rates, and the rest from the wage. And I know it was like between 400 and 410. So the number right there on the screen is correct. I was on the clock 9 hours, 19 minutes. So first 8 hours regular pay, 8 times 12 is 96. The final 1 hour, 19 minutes overtime pay. My overtime rate is $18 per hour. That's daily overtime. And combine those, $119.70 in wage. No cash games. Haven't dealt cash games in a while. No mixed games. It was just the Sunday special, that no limit tournament with the add-on, and then I think that was all I dealt. There is a 6 p.m. tournament. I don't even remember now if I dealt that or not, but I know it was all no limit. 15 downs, $15 per down for Hold'em. 15 times 15 is 225, so you just have to add those two numbers, and don't bother making space on the side. I'll just put it at the bottom right here. 119.70 plus 225, 344.70. So yeah, nothing tricky. Just dealt tournaments, just dealt no limit tournaments. Got a solid amount of hours and got 15 downs. There you go. So that's it. And remember, rice is a spoon food.